Hello, and welcome back to Sam Reviews and Gaming. And as I said, the next day after my top 10 movies of 2020 is my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2021. Let's hope that most of these actually come out this year, considering my most anticipated movies of 2020, only half of the list actually came out, and the other half of the list is pretty much on this list. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to my honorable mentions. I only have two to restrict the amount of movies because there is a lot I want to see this year, but these are just two I just kind of want to see. Anyway, so honorable mentions. My first one, Death on the Nile. So the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express, based on the Agatha Christie book. The trailer looked really cool, and that's the only reason really it's on this list. Like otherwise, the Murder on the Orient Express was a decent movie. It wasn't the best, but it was pretty decent. I feel like this one might be better, just from the trailer, and it just looked really cool. And I know there's a whole bunch of Marvel movies that I could put in this honorable mention section, but I wanted to put something different on here. And my other one is The Matrix 4. Now, the only reason this isn't in the top 10 list is because of The Matrix 2 and 3. I absolutely love the first one. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So, and then the second and third one are pretty average. So, I'm just skeptical. I really want to see it, but I'm really hoping it's like as good as the first one and not quite what the second and third one were. So that's why it's not in the top 10 of the year. So I mean, if it's good, then but we have to see. It comes out like on the 26th of December or something, and it is coming out because it's a Warner Brothers movie. And the good thing is that all the Warner Brothers movies will definitely come out because they're going to HBO Max in America, which means in New Zealand we get them in the theaters. So that's sweet, unless we get another pandemic. But let's not even talk about that. Okay, number 10. Mission Impossible 7. So, I'm quite a fan of the Mission Impossible series. I like the first one, did not like the second one. Like the third one, like the fourth one. The fifth one was pretty average, but the sixth one, oh my goodness, that one was so flippin' good. Like, yeah, it's definitely my favorite one in the entire series. I mean, it was just so good. Like, it's everything you want in a Mission Impossible movie, you got in Fallout. So, I really want to see 7, but I don't know. The reason it's number 10 is because I don't know. Because Mission Impossible movies are not always the best, but I'm hoping that they're on a good streak at the moment. But, Henry Cavill really added a lot to the last one, and since he's dead, I just really hope they can find a good villain for this one, and not just repeat, find something new to do. So that's number 10, Mission Impossible 7. It's coming out like November, so that's probably going to come out. They're filming it now or something, I don't know, but yeah, so that's my number 10. My number 9 is The Kingsman. So, the prequel to the Kingsman movies looks really cool from the trailers. However, so I love the first Kingsman movie. I mean, just so great. The second one is pretty average. Like, there's some great moments in it, but the overall plot and bringing back dead characters and all that stuff, I didn't really like it that much. I mean, the action is still pretty cool, but for this one, since it's a prequel, directed by the same person, and from the trailers, it seems like it's going to be a great movie. It just looks like it's going to be so cool, and this is one of the first movies of the year that comes out in March, like halfway through March, I think. Yeah, I mean, Ralph Fiennes is a really great actor, so I mean, this movie it looks really cool. Set in, I think it's World War One, but yeah, I think it's World War One. I think it's gonna be great. Like, it's got Ralph Fiennes and Rasputin, so I mean, like, what more can you ask for? Number 8 is F9 or Fast and Furious 9 or F9 The Fast Saga. Kind of dumb title, but apart from that, the trailer looks so cool. I mean, this franchise is completely stupid, like, but in a great way. So, I mean, it started off pretty basic, but now it's just completely bonkers. And Hobbs and Shaw. So the last one, Hobbs and Shaw, it was okay. I mean, I liked it more at the time, but I've seen it like 4 more times, and it gets worse every time. So I liked Fast and Furious 8 though. So the Fate of the Furious. So and I obviously 7, and I liked all those ones from 5 through to 8. So I'm hoping that because this one's part of the main trilogy and not part of the Hobbs and Shaw thing, which was okay, but I'm just hoping that this one's really good and doesn't, because I mean they're pushing this whole Fast Saga thing, which is, I mean yes, there are 9 or 10 if you count Hobbs and Shaw, so I mean yeah, they've made a lot, but I just really hope this movie's fun and they're bringing back Jordan and Brewster or whatever, Brian Mia O'Connor, so I mean that's pretty cool because she's a pretty cool character, and I mean obviously Paul Walker's gone, but it's still cool that they can bring her back. And yeah, the action looks really cool. I mean, it looks bonkers, of course, and the car stuff, but I think it's gonna be cool. I think is there 2 more after this, not including Hobbs and Shaw 2. So I mean, I thought there was only 10 gonna be 10 Fast and Furious movies, but we'll see. I don't even know how many there are, but I'll keep going to see them, and I do enjoy most of them, except for Tokyo Drift. But anyway, number 7. Ghostbusters Afterlife. So, as you've seen, the last, not Mission Impossible 7, but the other 3 in this one, I mean the other 2 in this one, were all on my most anticipated 2020 list, and it didn't actually come out, so it was kind of a pain, but yay, hopefully we get them this year. Ghostbusters Afterlife, I mean, what can I say, the first Ghostbusters is one of my favourite movies ever, and 2016 is absolute crap, so this one looks like it's going to be following the main story, and it looks great, and the cast is, I mean, it's Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, so I mean, we're all good there, and Paul Rudd's in it, so it's going to be great. And then the old Ghostbusters are coming back, but they're not the main part, but still, it's going to be a great movie. I just hope it is. The trailer was pretty cool, and this comes out in like June, which is so annoying because it was coming out in March, but then they postponed it again. I just hope these movies come out, but yeah, so that's Ghostbusters Afterlife, number 6. No Time to Die, so yet again, another movie that was supposed to come out in 2020. This looks really, really cool. I mean, there's been like, what, 3 trailers now because they keep thinking that there's going to be the movies coming out and then it gets postponed, but I think it looks really cool. It possibly could be the best Daniel Craig one, but you never know. I haven't actually seen Quantum of Solace yet, so I might do that before we watch it. I watched it, but I don't really want. Skyfall, I love, and Casino Royale, great. Spectre was okay, so I'm just hoping that this one's good. And it's got Rami Malek in it, so it can't be too bad. And it's Daniel Craig's last one, so I really hope they put a lot of effort into it. Yeah, I hope it's just really good. I've been waiting for this for a long time, so I just really hope it's good. Yeah, I mean, what else? There's been so many trailers, and I've talked about this movie so much over the last year because it's supposed to come out in April last year, and now it's coming out in April 2021. Well, that's going to be a fun time if it comes out. Okay, number 5. Spider-Man 3. So my only Marvel movie on this list is Spider-Man 3. And if you've heard the rumors and the confirmations and the casting, and you'd know why. I absolutely love the original Spider-Man trilogy, and I love the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. And I'm a big fan of, well, I'm a fan of the new Spider-Man movies. More so Far From Home than Homecoming. Homecoming's still good, but Far From Home was just I love it. I love that movie. It's one of the best MCU movies, and I'm a much bigger DC movie fan. So it's like yeah. So all the cast stuff you've heard about this movie, it just sounds amazing. I mean, you've got like Doctor Octopus and apparently Sandman and Electro and the from the previous Spider-Man movies, and then you've got Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back to play their Spider-Man, apparently. And I mean, if that's true, and Doctor Strange, so it's going to be a pretty big movie, and I'm surprised it's actually coming out at 2021. I mean, it's like the last minute pretty much, but I'm happy it is apparently still coming out. And there's of course the two other Sony Spider-Man movies, Morbius and Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which I'm also more hyped for than any of the MCU movies coming out this year, because I just like the Spider-Man, and since it's connected to Spider-Man and all that stuff, you know, you might get hints and stuff. So, I mean, and that's why I'm looking forward to WandaVision, because that connects to this. So, yeah, Spider-Man's the best part of the MCU going forward. I pretty much don't really care about anything else in the MCU except for the Spider-Man stuff. But yeah, it looks. We haven't seen any trailers, but I bet it's going to be amazing. I mean, if you've got that cast, and it's just going to be amazing. Yeah, so that's my number 5, and my number 4 is The Last Night in Soho, which I don't know if it was on my list last year, possibly was, but Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors of all time. I mean, in my top like 20 movies of all time, I've got, you know, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Baby Driver. So I mean, and I love Hot Fuzz to pieces. It's great, and Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. I mean, they're all such great movies. He's never made a bad movie, and this, I mean, it's Edgar Wright. He's making a movie, so that's why it's number 4. I mean, there's been no trailer or anything. All we have is this poster thing. But I bet we'll get a trailer soon, because this comes out in like quite soon, I think. So yeah, hopefully it's great. I mean, it's gotta be. It's Edgar Wright. So I mean, what else can you really say except it's Edgar Wright? Okay, number 3 is Dune. So yeah, didn't really know much about Dune until I saw the trailer. It looked so cool, so I started reading the book, and then Dune got postponed. So I kind of stopped reading the book, because I was like, kind of just in, like, I mean, I was loving the book, and I was like so hyped for the movie, and it's kind of sad that Dune got postponed. But the thing that's more sad than that is the fact that it made Batman get postponed till 2022, and that's my most anticipated movie of forever, from that trailer that we saw at DC Fandom. So Dune is also one of my most anticipated movies coming out. So yeah, hopefully it's really good. It looks really good. The cast is amazing, and the source material is just great. So yeah, hopefully it's good, and hopefully it will come out, because it's HBO Max, right? Yeah, sweet. As long as there's no other pandemic, but you know, we don't want to talk about that again. But yeah, this wasn't in my top 10 list last year, I don't think, because I didn't really know what Doom was. But hopefully we get another trailer, you know, sometime soon, because it's coming out in October. So yeah, number 2 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. What? This is a TV show, a miniseries. Not really. I don't see it like that. I mean, it's coming out in cinemas as a 4-hour experience, possibly. So if it does or doesn't, I don't care. I'm still going to count it as a movie, because it is a movie. It's just a 4-hour movie split up into 4 episodes. But yeah, I mean, whew. Okay, so the Zack Snyder's Justice League I've been following for like ages, since pretty much Justice League came out and it wasn't that good. I mean, I think I put it in my top 10 movies of that year, but I didn't really see that many, and my opinion on movies wasn't the best back then. But still, I mean, jeepers. I have come. The first time I watched Batman vs Superman, I absolutely did not like it at all. But then Ultimate Edition and actually looking at the movie as going into depth and watching it over and over again, I just found a love for Zack Snyder's DC movies. I mean, I love Man of Steel. It is so good. Batman vs Superman is so good. Apparently there's a new extended cut for the extended cut coming out or something. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, sure, I'll watch it, but I think it's pretty near perfect at what it is. But that's a very controversial opinion, and I know there are a lot of people who do love Batman vs Superman. So Justice League for me is when I watched it at the time, I liked it more. But now that I like Zack Snyder's stuff, and I've heard of what it could have been, Justice League just seems really bad, that they really ruined it. So I'm just so happy that they're actually going to make this Zack Snyder's Justice League, give it justice, and finally get to watch it in March, which is jeez, I mean, that is so close, and it's been a long time coming, and I'm so excited. Anyway, so it's a DC movie, so it's my top 2, so that kind of spoils what my number 1 is, but my number 1 is The Suicide Squad. So, my relationship with The Suicide Squad, well, when I saw Suicide Squad in 2016, I thought it was the best movie of the year, and I was really stupid because that was definitely not true. I don't know why, I just kind of like the characters, but the movie is pretty bad. Now that I see that, but then we get The Suicide Squad coming out this year with some of the cast, the best part of the cast coming back, and new people to play these awesome Suicide Squad. I've read a lot of the comics, and I love it. And James Gunn is directing, so it's gonna be amazing. I mean, that kind of like thing we saw at DC Fandom for it. That's not a trailer, but behind the scenes thing that looked really cool. I mean, it's R-rated. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be funny. It's James Gunn. I love the Guardians movies. Guardians and Spider-Man are the best part of the MCU. So I mean, it's gonna be so cool. I mean, I'm just so excited for this movie. It's got like John Cena in it, Idris Elba. I mean, jeepers, there's like a spin-off TV series going to HBO Max about John Cena's Peacemaker after this. So I mean, they see potential for him. So I mean, that gets me hyped for his character. And the movie just looks so fun. It's like going to be an actual Suicide Squad mission, like they are in the comics, and not what the movie was in 2016, because that's absolute garbage and I hate it. And Enchantress is the worst villain ever, and apparently the villain is Starro, which is amazing. I mean, that has got to be one of the best villains for a Suicide Squad movie, because he's a starfish. But yeah, I mean, I just love the Suicide Squad comics, so I mean, I've got to be hyped for this movie, and yeah, I really hope it's going to be good, and it's definitely coming out because it's Warner Brothers. So yeah, that's my number 1 most anticipated movie of the year, and those are my top 10. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, and my next video will possibly be the ranking of the DCEU when the Snyder Cut comes out, because I don't really make videos as much for this channel, but you should go check out my Sammy Wallace Productions movie channel, where we have made currently 2 original movies, and one of them just came out at the end of last year, and it's pretty cool. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.